big changes coming. We have the enforcement of English language proficiency starting on the 25th. That's Wednesday. So as a quick reminder, this is part of driver qualification CFR 391.11B2. So English language proficiency will be required. It will be an out-of-service violation enforceable on the 25th. We've heard that there are already roadside stops and evaluations for this, but on the 25th, it will become out of service, which means you need to get your fleet prepared. You need to know how all of your drivers stand so you can feel confident dispatching, or so you can flag drivers for additional support, training, or conversations. So we have a couple tools that are ready right now. You can implement it today, and a couple that are coming top of next week, which are really exciting. The ones coming soon hit the full breadth of the regulation, the way it will be enforced, with a conversational aspect and then a road sign aspect. But today we're trying to get a good quick pass at all drivers and make sure your fleet is ready for the 25th. And so we have two tools for you. The first is a video that explains the regulation. It's very short to the point. We love a good short point to the point video. So it explains the regulation, the changes, and what it means for drivers. The second resource is kind of a new application of something you already are familiar with. So far in your training with Infinity, there's a piece of content followed by a quiz. The content can be a video, a PDF, or a PowerPoint, a YouTube video, and then there's a quiz back behind it, either one that has a general acknowledgement, yes, I understand the information, or has an actual assessment of comprehension. We now have the ability to do a quiz only assignment that attaches just a quiz, and we've done some quick coding to embed images into those quiz questions. So the second feature that's available right now for you to use is the quiz only assignment featuring the road sign test to let you evaluate everyone's proficiency understanding road signs, and it can be graded as you would set up any assignment. So let's dive right in and let's show you what it looks like today. Okay. So I'm going to log in first as an administrator. I hope you all have your logos set up here. If you don't, please add one. It's a great way to personalize your training site. So logging in, I have this site set up to go directly to the announcements page, which is really a critical communication tool. I've added a flyer that's available to you now. Your client success rep can help you add it to your announcements page if you'd like, or feel free to email that out. Use it as you wish. It highlights two regulations going into effect next week: the medical certification process on June 23rd and English language proficiency out of service on June 25th. So this is a great way to share information. In fact, you can even add, text below or above that indicates who they should contact if they have questions about this. So as an admin, let's go in and make an assignment. So we're going to do a new assignment, and we're going to call this English language proficiency. Can I even spell? June 2025. We're going to do this as the CVSA out of service push. All right, I'm going to pick a start date. I want it to start today. And because the regulation is going into effect end of this month, the 25th, I'm going to have the due date be the 24th. That's a very quick turnaround. Obviously, feel free to set whatever date you'd like. This is with the idea that you're maybe doing an initial pass to assess where your fleet stands today. And one quick thing I need to mention about passing grade. The enforcement guidance that we have seen, even the unredacted version, has not mentioned anything about what it means to pass or fail. So there's not an indication there about how many road signs you can get correct or incorrect before passing or failing. Same thing with the conversational piece. So your company is going to have to define the risk that you're willing to accept in this area. You're going to have to set your company standard or policy on what it means to pass. I'm going to leave this at 100%. And I'm going to also make this a recurring resource that they can reference in future should they want. So we're going to move on next. So to search this, I'm going to search English language. And you can see the two resources I mentioned. First, the video. It's a quick 1 and 45-second video, so very short to the point. So we have this one. And then the second that shows up when you search English language is the road sign proficiency or traffic sign proficiency test. So let's add both of them. Traffic signs, and you see they pop up here. We can see what's been added. Now I'm going to move over to the user groups. I assume that most companies will want to assign company-wide to get all of your drivers and make sure everyone is evaluated. If you have user groups set up and you happen to have a user group for your Spanish speakers, that may be something you want to do. Or if you have a certain terminal you're particularly concerned about, you could do that. If you have another language group set up, I know this is going to affect, many different drivers and many different non-native speakers. So use the groups however you need, or go company-wide. In this case, I'm going to set up for my test user, Craig, and add Craig. Okay. Notifications, really important. Because we're on a tight timeline, I want him to know about everything new, overdue, complete, reminder, everything. I probably for myself would set up a complete in a case where I'm doing one-off assignment. If you have hundreds or thousands of drivers, you may not want to have any kind of admin notifications. Entirely up to you. We like a configurable assignment setting. For tags, if you have tags and are using them, please do remember to add them. You can add your own custom tags, by the way. I might add a tag here that's for regulation. Of course, if you're adding it to your monthly training, then you might tag this as an ongoing training. You can also choose to use no tags. And if you'd like to preview the certificate, you can. We're going to move right along and publish this. And you can see the pop-up here, the assignment was successfully created. So let's now jump over to the Craig test user so you can see what it looks like in his, the driver or the user's view of this. So we're going to log in. Much simpler view on the side here, not too much clutter for them, straight into the point. But again, we see the announcements page first. So, test user or driver can know what's going on and that it's important, they need to pay attention. And of course, you can always change this. So when this enforcement is no longer relevant for your company, or it's not important that you communicate it to them anymore, you can change it to an update about the company picnic date, or a thank you to drivers for their service, or any number of messages. So let's go into the classroom here. We can see that both have been added. You know what it looks like to view a video in the classroom, so I'm not going to view the first one. Let's open up this quiz only assignment so you can see what this looks like. It is a big one. We have 59 questions. So I'd like to take this opportunity to let everyone know, or remind them, that we got our hands on the unredacted version of the enforcement guidelines. So we have taken all of the road signs that were represented in the enforcement document, and we even added some more because there are some safety sensitive areas like, construction zones where we know there are high accidents, there's a high risk there. So we want to make sure that we're not just meeting compliance, we're also building a culture of safety and keeping drivers safe in their day-to-day operations. So yes, 59 questions. It's a lot, but it is a really, really great test, really, for any driver to make sure that they are prepared to go out on the road. As you would normally do, you're going to look at the question and then answer the question and arrow on to the next one. Now, because there are 59, I'm not going to arrow through every single one. You get the gist here. Once the quiz is completed, the driver will see, how they did, pass or fail. Everything will be documented, and then you can, as an administrator, run a report to see what's happening for your fleet and who you want to flag for additional evaluations. We're pretty excited about the tools. This is a fun new application of technology for us, and we love growing and improving. So this is available today. Please assign it, use it, get it out to your fleet. And then I hope you will join us very soon. We have a webinar link available, so you can go ahead and register to see this new product, new application that's going to be a really fun, comprehensive way to evaluate both the conversational piece and the road sign piece. There are tons of other applications for this new tool, but wow, what a great opportunity to roll it out, because it's a great representation of the different functionality, and it's a really nice combination of both live training or live learning sessions, synchronous training, and then assigned training. So the asynchronous, on your own evaluation step. Really excited. Hope to see you on the webinar soon. Meantime, thank you, and hope this is helpful to you, and stay safe out there.